Welcome back, everybody, to D&D Dragon Hunters Tyranny of Dragons, Episode 6, where we last left off. Our players had survived the attack on Green Nest, and upon request, followed the raiders to where they assume is their camp. Along the way, they ran into some stragglers, which they brutalized and killed, and then they ran and snuck past a real guard. And where we ended was them at the entrance of the camp. The camp is bustling, like it looks like people are celebrating their return after a successful raid, and it doesn't seem like security is super strict. So because of that, and because they're talking to his imaginary friend, Alistair had to remember names. Alistair suggested maybe walking in the front could work of the camp. And it was upon this discussion that we left off on. Now, we don't have a player this week. His character will probably be like just skulking around up on the cliff sides, kind of keeping an eye out on stuff. Just being stealthy up there so that he doesn't draw attention to himself. But for the rest of us, we can start right here where we left off.
So yeah, we can just go in, I guess. It's not that bad of an idea.
All the little tiny doors are gone.
Yeah, I got rid of them because they weren't really needed. They just blocked your guys' vision for no real reason.
But how will we know if a tent is open or closed?
I will tell you.
That's fair.
If it's shaking, don't walk in though.
If the tent is shaking, there's probably bigger issues.
If the tent is shaking, knock first.
The whole tent collapses. They're like, God damn it, who's there? But you start to walk in, Renadol?
Yeah, did we successfully do our disguise stuff?
I think the one you were going to disguise was Limnos, wasn't it?
Well, I was thinking we could all dirty ourselves up to appear disheveled and like we're vagabonds wandering into camp looking for work, like everybody else.
Okay.
I
can also
roll on the ground again a bit.
You what?
I can disguise self.
Yeah, so you could just become a different person. Or master of disguise, but I think smearing dirt, that's gonna work with some of you. Like, you are very distinct, Renadol. So if somebody, fought you or anything in the city and got away, they'd probably recognize you.
Yeah.
In fact, let me... Because they want...
Renadol, do you want my cloak?
Okay. I need all four of you guys to roll me a charisma check.
Oh crap.
This is going to be fun. Oh.
It was okay.
Okay. So, yeah, no, your guys' disguises are, in place. You besmudged your scales a bit, and everybody is at least trying to look different than what they did in the city.
I'm wearing my cultist clothes.
Okay, and you will notice, Abner, before you walk in your cultist clothes, that a lot of the people aren't wearing them at the moment.
Alright, I'll wear my smuggle outfit then.
Okay, I just wanted to point out that a lot of what you see in the camp are either general, like, traveling clothes or just general clothes in general. A lot of generals there.
Smuggle outfit it is then.
Are we talking 3-star generals or 2-star
5.
or 1-star?
There was 5 1-stars, which is basically the same as a 5-star, so you know.
Only if all of them tell you to quit doing what you're doing.
And weren't we planning on going in separately a little bit, like
Mm-hmm.
groups of 2s or whatever? I'll go in with Mr. Disguise Boy, Disguise Self Boy, girl. Your character's a girl, right?
Yeah, Sitha. The one you're next to, Michael?
The Lady Disguise.
Yes.
Tally ho.
So,
My undercover alias is Sebastian McLeod.
I can't wait for 10 minutes from now where you don't remember that.
That's giving me a lot of credit, actually.
What was it?
I don't think they ever knew your name to begin with, so I don't really think that's going to be a problem, but okay.
Oh, that hurt. Not gonna lie.
I mean,
Alistair,
that's a cool
that
name
kinda
at
hurt.
least. No, don't get me wrong, it's a cool name at least. I couldn't come up with that.
Sure you could. I have faith in you.
Are you still
Thank you.
concentrating on your path without a trace, by the way?
No, not if we're gonna just walk in.
Okay.
It would look
I-
kind of silly.
I just wanted to double check. Yeah, all the smoke and stuff that's kind of hiding you and whatnot. So Sithra and Renador heads in first. So as you enter the city, or not city, camp, you guys see tents and are like haphazardly strung up. Like they're not all haphazardly, but they're definitely not as bundled up as closely as you think they could have been. Trying to make sure. Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah, the ones where you are right now are very crudely built and decorated with like animal skulls and stuff. And you see like kobolds like carrying stuff from one tent to another and getting fires set up for the nightly cook and that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Nobody seems to bat an eye at you as you walk in. What are you guys looking at?
I am going to try to attempt to keep a mental tally of the numbers as I go through the camp.
Okay. It shouldn't be
Kind
too
of-
hard, so
yeah.
I'll let you know when you have a more bigger idea.
Yeah.
With Alistair and Avner, as you wait for them to head deeper in before you follow, what are you guys doing or talking about?
Alistair, remember, this is a secret mission. No destroying things for a little bit. Okay?
Okay, I'm not gonna. I'm sorry. I'm not going to bash anything unless you tell me to do so.
Perfect.
I'm going to leave that responsibility to you, or if him and Alistair just points at nothing behind him, or if he tells me something.
Sounds good. And remember,
Okay.
when we're going around gathering information, we might be able to find information about you getting yourself a kobold. Just remember that is an
Okay,
added
now we're
bonus.
talking.
Now that's an added bonus that that's why information is key. I know you really want one, so maybe we'll stumble upon a way that you can get your own pet kobold.
Friend kobold. There are people too. I learned that at least.
Okay, your companion
I
kobold.
think so.
That sounds good enough.
Yeah, that's okay.
Uh,
So not bashing any heads in. Okay, I'll try to remember that.
so Avner, what you not Avner, but let's go with the other two first, since they're near the end. Then you guys will be able to start heading in. You guys are approaching the ends of the tents that seem to be for the kobolds. Rough estimate for you would be about 100 kobolds. They seem all over the place, so it's hard to get an exact number, but that's what you probably would guess.
That's a lot of kobolds.
What? Yeah, it really is. Do you talk to any of them, or are you just walking by, ignoring them?
Don't acknowledge.
Okay.
Unless we command them to do something.
Well, it's about this point that you start seeing the tents ahead of you are nicer. They'll better make, cleaner, sturdier, and instead of like animal skulls, they look to be painted in different designs, representing dragons of different shapes and colors. And then, yeah, so that's what you generally see from these. Okay, make sure nothing is showing that doesn't need to be showing. It's probably around this time that you two start heading in, Abner and Alistair. And much like them, you see the tents in a bit worse rare than you would expect, and all of the kobolds just going around. And I think, Abner, you'll see up in the guard post is like several kobolds staring down over the ledge at people, but not like in a scrutiny, just in a interest kind of thing.
Walking casual.
And
Go
you're
around like holding my light hammer and just like throwing it up and catching it and throwing it up and catching it.
It's nonchalant.
Just to make Connor a little bit nervous.
I'll move you up by him.
You see Abner just kind of look down and just like shake his head like, all right, let's go.
So as you guys enter, you see all of the kobolds that Renador has seen. Renador and Sithra. You guys do just glance around and you see your allies enter the camp like further back. But you also see like the tents ahead of you that looks to be more humans, like the more human side of the camp. What do you do?
I'm mostly keeping my head down, trying not to attract attention. I'm going to follow Sithra's lead on this, since they're maybe a little less noticeable.
That's fair. Sithra, what would you do?
That's what Sithra is going to start to like. Would want to get closer, but she's gonna head like more towards this side of the. Like she would come and check up and down before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because down has more tents, she's she would want to come up and check up before she entered what is considered.
The proper human side.
Yeah. Well, that's.
Well, as you move up and such, like just a smidge up, you'll notice a tent that's kind of put off to the side that seems to be properly guarded. Like there's at least 4 humanoids around the tent with 3 different guard drakes. They all look alert and they're all at their post standing, paying attention to everything around them.
Do we see anybody else moving around, like, in between tents or whatnot?
Standard, like, human, raiders, it seems. They are... It's very lax in the attitude, because they're both... The raiders have just come back from a successful raid. So, they... Very much the mood and atmosphere of the camp is, we did it, let's party kind of thing. So you have some people moving around and keeping the camp moving as it should. You know, piling up wood, taking food to different locations. But in general, it's just a lot of almost relaxing from people. Like they are finally back in a pseudo home, so they're kind of enjoying themselves. Just trying to double check. Okay. It's still day, so what you also see is down a little bit more down south, and this will be the last thing I say before we jump back to the other two. You see what looks to be, in very poor dress, a couple, what looks to be like peasants and or prisoners of some kind, like being used for manual labor, with somebody in what looks to be a more uniform outfit, kind of giving them orders, telling them where to go, that kind of thing. The outfits of the prisoners, at least what you assume to be prisoners, are more like ragged and worn from lack of care. And that's what you see. And as you see this, Avner, back to you and Alistair. What are you guys doing as you move through the camp? Are you guys talking to anybody or any kobold or...
I wouldn't be. I'm gonna be more assessing the situation, just kind of people watching. As I kind of head forward towards kind of the opposite way, kind of scope it out down through this area a little bit.
Okay,
making my way.
You see a lot of kobolds around you. Again, much like I said to Renador, it's very clear that Renador and Sithra, that it's very clear that security at the camp is lax, and you probably know this firsthand. You probably have seen camps like this, and their security is probably more like lax and normal after the raid. They probably don't expect anybody to follow them back. So it's there's a lot of people slacking off as well as working.
See, outside of the market, if
what was that?
okay.
I'm going to try and whisper to Avner, just, if we ever need a distraction, just tell me when. I had an idea. And then I'll just, smile maliciously and not give an explanation.
Well, you are the brawn. And that works for me. keyword is Baba Ganoush. I say
Obtuse.
that.
Got it.
Yeah, so as I'm walking, if any of the kobolds come up or if they, say anything, I would be, friendly back and, kind of go with the same, try to set the same tone as to, the livelihood. But I wouldn't be going out of my way to initiate any
I
particular
don't
talking with.
I don't think the kobolds specifically will go out of the way. I think some of them do a salute towards you, but I think most of them are just out of sight, out of mind with the human side of the camp.
Yeah. I look back
I
at
would
Admiral.
definitely. I would just definitely be staring at a few kobolds, especially if one of them had scars or anything. Just stare like a kid staring at a toy shop.
Oh, a few of them definitely have scars on them, and I think one of them turns and notices you staring at them, and just and Draconic's like, "What? Do you need something?"
I would just look extremely pissed now, because it's another time someone talking to me in Draconic, and I don't know Draconic, and I'm just so tired of that. And I'll just keep walking. I'm not even gonna look at him anymore.
He just looks around and just keeps moving how he was.
Alistair,
This fucking thing. Yeah. Sorry.
we'll try to teach you Draconic sometime.
Oh,
If we get some
that would
very
be great.
long downtime, we can attempt it.
I mean, probably a very long one. That's for sure.
Yeah, because I think it's a lot of. I think it's 10 weeks.
For Alistair, it's probably going to be the double of that, but that's okay.
Well, no, 'cause I think
He's
it's
not
10
going to pay
weeks.
enough attention.
Yeah, I think it's 10 weeks minus your int, minus your int mod if it's positive. In weeks, so that's gonna be just 10 weeks.
Yeah.
But as you guys start catching up, you guys see your allies and the crowd of people moving back and forth in kobolds. What is everybody doing now? I don't want to split you guys up anymore if you guys don't want to be.
I think
I think it's probably for the best.
I think we could probably meander closer to each other, maybe. We don't want to be too far away from each other. If something
Right.
happens.
That's fair.
I would kind of look at Renadol and just kind of, without really speaking, just kind of once I'm able to lock eyes with him, just kind of give him the, I'll keep an eye on you. We'll kind of stay a little bit apart. As we
I'll give
explore.
you the nod back. The cool dude nod.
So, what's up? What's up?
And I think, Avner, you see, and Alistair too, what I described to Sitha and Renador, how the tents are in better shape, are not decorated as grisly, and through the tents I think you see the main tent, stacked up over here. Just showing, that it's off to the side a little bit.
Does that tent look more prominent? Or does that look like potentially the prisoner tent?
I think it's more, or at least you'd probably know, it's probably more like a command tent kind of thing.
Okay. Do I see anything that would more resemble a prisoner tent?
You do, as you move up near Sithra and them, you see, like I was telling them, how there's some people who look like prisoners down south there, who very much are very much being forced to do their labor goods and laborness and whatnot. I should delete this because there's no reason for me to have that. So you guys can see kind of an overview of the thing too. But yeah, so you probably see some what you can only assume are prisoners down there. And these tents, while looking nice, aren't clearly painted, so now that you guys are heading towards the more human side of this camp, do you guys meander anymore? Like, talk to people, or are you guys still trying to stay separate?
I don't
I'm
know.
definitely trying to give off the idea that we are not as a whole group together. I'm trying to meander and walk as close to our group and as to other people, just to be sure no one will just say like, oh yeah, those 5 people look to be too close.
So you're trying to walk near the group, but also near other people, just like trying to look like you don't belong to anybody.
What I really want to do, I want to pick one guy from the crowd that is not too far from the group, like at max 15-20 feet. And I'll just be real close to him. If someone looked at us, it would be like we were best friends.
I think he's probably a little bit darker skinned half elf, and he turns he's like, yes, and common. Like, can I help you?
No, that's okay. I'm just looking at the camp. It's been a very good thing with it. Yeah. I'll just stay there, like smiling, almost creepily.
Okay, he just seems a little bit weirded out to you, but there's some weird people in this camp, so he's just like, of course. So you're doing that. Let's put you like over here, then like in the group. Avner, what are you doing? Oh, Sithra, since Sithra's moving.
I'm looking at the looking more towards the south to get a better understanding of the laborers, how many guards there might be, knowing that there's 2 potential people we might be trying to look for. Just trying to get, without getting too close, just getting a good sense as to, what we, who might hinder us.
So, with the prisoners that you see, or who you can assume, you see about 8 of them down here. Okay. And it seems like there's 4 different figures watching over them.
Like 2 per man?
Yeah, like 2 prisoners per one of them.
That's problematic.
They're not chained up like during the they're not chained up during the day. It seems they are just kept via the amount of people awake and around them. So it's more like fear of death keeping them in place.
Yeah. Yeah, just kind of trying to watch the patterns, just kind of get an understanding of, kind of just watch him a little bit, but also kind of just walking around, kind of meandering, so it doesn't look obvious as, I'm casing the area a little bit.
Okay, you can be doing that. Sithra, what are you and Renador doing up here?
Following Sithra, wondering where he's going.
Oh, that's what I'm gonna walk over here and sit down somewhere in between, like here,
and find a nice stump to sit on,
or just even sit down and lean up against the tent, and just sort of listen to I guess the
The
sounds
chatter.
of this camp. Yeah, the chatter, the bumble, and
Go
just
ahead. Go ahead and give me perceptions, both of you. Let's see what you hear. Oh, look at that. The two most perceptive people in the group, I think. Yeah, no. The only... Actually, two of the three. Dear God, all of you guys are wisdom based.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We
I have
got...
a passive 20.
We got 3 wisdoms and a charisma. It's beautiful. What you hear? You hear general talking in the camp. Sithra, what you probably hear is maybe some people who consider themselves. Let's start with this. You both hear people talking. Maybe one of them is a mercenary. One of them is one of the actual raiders of the camp. And what you hear is the mercenary talking to the other, like, you know, after that successful raid, I think I might actually join up. Yeah, this cult of the dragon, like, it's an interesting place. It seems like a lot of riches to be had. Another guy, well, remember, most of the riches do go towards Tiamat, praise her glory. We don't keep too much. We keep what we need. And they continue on in that conversation. Sithra, you probably specifically hear about how the cult has been ranging far and wide on small raids to collect treasures. Green Nest was the closest to the camp, and the biggest of all the towns they've hit, and they've gotten the most treasure they've gotten yet from there. And for you, Renadol, you probably hear that you probably hear somebody just praying about how the Mother of Dragons praised Tiamat's glory. Will one day return, and when that day comes, all nations shall tremble before her majesty. And while you guys are sitting there listening in, let's go back to Alistair. Alistair, the uncomfortable half elf hasn't moved too far away from you, though he does kind of try to keep a little bit of distance on you. What are you doing?
Just I'm trying to set up that I know people around here.
Okay.
I'm like going close, not talking much, always like circling around Avner, like 20 feet from him. But I'm definitely trying to get into other groups and just listen and then just agree with something, then turn my back and go away.
I think you hear some tidbits of stuff, especially with your passive perception. You probably hear, and this probably catches your attention because it's about kobolds, but that the kobolds are here because they worship dragons, and the leader of the camp is using that to basically manipulate them into working with them. But the non-kobolds don't really like the kobolds. They look at them like just above dumb animal. And you probably get that from a couple people, just little tidbits, like somebody complaining about how dumb the kobolds are. They're not even cooking their food right. Another one probably just complaining about how it doesn't seem like the kobolds brought in the same amount of treasure. Maybe they're hoarding it. That kind of thing.
Have to be a dragon. Got it. Noted.
Abner, what are you doing?
Uh, Same thing, casing. If I see any I know this is a camp, so if I see any general wares, if somebody has any type of merchant, uh, selling stuff, to fix damaged weapons or anything like that, I'd probably kind of head over there, try to make small chit chat.
There's probably a provisioner. There probably could be, yeah.
If it looks more of a official capacity, like an actual guards one, I probably wouldn't. But if it was more somebody that came in, or one, more of a traveling merchant style, or lower level, than I would.
Oh, accidentally said that as Alistair. Oops. Yeah, I think it's probably more of not quite official, but more along the lines of it's for just like an outfitters almost. To help. What exactly are you looking for with them? Just to talk with them?
Yeah, yeah, just to yeah, just to kind of just the chit chat after the raid. Would go and be like, oh yeah, I broke my sword. Um, had to damage it, had to get rid of it. Kind of just talk about the triumphant of the raid, just kind of making chit chat as a using the broken weapon as an excuse.
Ah, okay. Yeah, they'll probably talk back to me. Yeah, no, the raid was successful. We even got a few more prisoners for manual labor. After in the past we had more, but between the ones that have converted and become loyal members, and those who have died because they couldn't handle the work, you know, we've been low. Heck, I'm scared they might start using us to feed the drakes and the hatchlings. And he just laughs.
Oh, there's others we can always find, right?
Oh, yeah, thankfully for that. Now, what kind of sword do you need? And he just keeps moving on to the sword. But what were you going to say, Evan?
Has there been a lot of people converting lately?
We haven't had too many prisoners to convert, though there are a few in the mercenaries that have. Just being around us, like learning of the glory of Tiamat, like it's enough to convert more than a few.
Well, if you're gonna convert people, it's always better to have the stronger people, right?
Exactly.
It seemed like you could always get more things done with the right people.
Exactly. I'm glad somebody understands that. I've been trying to talk to the higher ups about that, but they seem to think that numbers are key.
I mean, numbers can be key. You throw a lot of numbers that from people, they get overwhelmed, and you can win that way. But against true power, numbers mean nothing.
That is completely right. And he'll keep talking to you as he's like trying to find a sword to replace the one that you broke. We'll swap back over to Sithra and Renador up here. So after spending some time up here, Renador, you've been paying attention. Except for like any extraneous numbers, you notice probably about 40 to 60 humans, like in that range, up here. And you see like 20 of those dragon men you guys have been fighting walking about.
Ooh.
They seem to be walking about just like everybody else, like doing labor, maybe sharpening weapons, that kind of thing.
looking around, just circled this tent a little bit. Does it seem like anyone or like any people seem to be the ones in charge? Like, are the dragon people the ones in charge, or is it like?
I think the dragon men feel like they're in charge.
Mhm.
They're kind of like that I'm superior to you attitude, even if it looks like commanding officers like send duties for both sides just as much.
Mhm.
It very much seems like the dragon men have that like I'm superior attitude.
Gotcha.
I think one time you guys see. Let me pull up this issue. I think you guys see. I just want to make sure. Okay, you guys see probably a human walk out of this tent just to take a look around and send a messenger off. Very clearly, she seems to be somebody that expects people to listen to her. And while you're up behind this tent, you see her turn and talk, and you can't quite hear what she's saying, but you see that large, silvery, like tarnished dragon man that you fought at the other city walk out and talk to her for a minute before they go back in the tent.
And that was this tent.
Yes. So very clearly, this seems to be a leader tent of some sort.
Mitra, what do you think about trying to, I don't know, get close to that tent, or even get inside that tent? Oh, oh, I can do a thing with Wild Shape where I summon a familiar with the Tasha's
Yeah,
optional rules.
I have yet to see somebody do that too. And
I'm gonna do that. I want to bring in a spider and have him crawl into the tent. Sithra, what do you think about sending a spider familiar into the tent?
I mean,
I can
I
summon a
think we
familiar.
need a good distraction though to at least get a decent amount of them away, and then even maybe one of us could distract the rest of them as the other one of us went inside.
Oh, well, I don't know about like getting a person inside, but I could get like a little, little tiny itsy bitsy spider.
Yeah, the itsy
And
bitsy spider would also let you know what's going on.
yeah, I can look through the spider's eyes and senses and listen in and look at people and
Yeah, let's
stuff.
do that way.
That way we aren't causing a kerfuffle and potentially getting captured and stuff.
Yeah, we're just over here napping, minding our business.
All right, I'm gonna.
I think, by the way, like over here a little bit, like away from the tents, you guys see other people sleeping in this same general area.
Gotcha.
So you guys aren't even like out of place.
Yeah, just a lot of people kind of just sitting on the ground.
Yeah. They don't have a lot of chairs in this camp. This camp has to be mobile.
Is there an empty tent I could duck into?
I think there probably is. I think one of these tents probably have like 4 or 5 bedrolls in it that are empty because the people in there aren't like sleeping.
Yeah.
Probably for like general use kind of tent.
I'll just duck into there and let me look at the optional.
Yeah, let me
Is that what it's called?
pull
Yeah,
you up.
action. It's only an action. I wanted to see if it was still a normal hour-long casting, but it looks like it's an action.
It said,
Um,
okay, what it is you use an action to yeah, it says specifically, you summon a spirit that assumes animal form. As an action, you expend a wild shape feature to cast Find Familiar spell without material components. And the creature will be Fey instead of Beast. And it stays for a number of hours equal to half your druid level. Probably rounded down.
so not an hour and a half?
No.
Damn. All right.
I mean, I get it. I guess it could be, but it specifically says, I think, an hour. Stays for a number of hours equal to half your proficiency, half your druid level.
Yeah.
Same as wild shape.
Gotcha.
But either way, you at least have an hour.
Which is plenty of time to go inside a tent and spy. I would like to summon an itsy bitsy spider.
Okay. Both what does the spider look like, because it's fair whether it looks normal or not, and what does your summoning look like?
I'll just pull a blanket over my body and cup my hands and breathe into my cupped palms, and some golden light comes out of my breath and coalesces into a let's go with daddy long legs, like one of the kind of bigger ones.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Camel spider.
And they're just like a dark gold, like almost brown, to where it's mostly just brown.
Okay. I think I was thinking camel spider too, Tim. Just as
Camel spider? No, thank you.
why not? Camel spider is perfectly fine.
I
They
don't
just-
know what that is, and I'm afraid to know it.
They just chase people.
They're the size of a pit bull, essentially, or can't get that size. I believe.
No,
Yeah,
camel
I
spiders
don't-
are terrifying.
I don't know if they can get that big.
Please
don't
tell me
get that
don't.
big.
They
It's an
don't.
urban legend. People
Yeah.
keep them as pets.
Yeah, exactly. Kelly knows his spiders. I just know they chase people for the shade behind people.
And they're actually, I believe, technically a scorpion.
I posted a
But
picture of a
that's a side
giant one.
thing.
Most of them are hand size.
Yeah, but they look scary. They look like very scary.
Well, like Kelly
Hand
said,
size is too big.
like Kelly said, they might be of the scorpion family, so that would explain why they look so scary.
All right, I gotta stop looking at those pictures. So it's a
Anyways.
cute little daddy long leg. Not scary looking. Not like, oh, step on me. It's just a cute little daddy long legs. No one's gonna bother a daddy long legs. They have a family. They're a daddy. And then I'll keep them. I'll tuck the little guy on my boot, and then I'll walk out, and I'll go over to Sithra and I'll say, hey, should we meander over to the tent and what would be a good reason for
I'm
us to
down-
walk up to the guards?
I don't know about walking up to the guards, but we could at least walk down to like these tents down here.
Oh, just kind of walk past, but
Yeah,
and then
like-
deposit the spider kind
or-
of nearby.
Even if we were walking down to like all the way down past, just to like make
Yeah.
our reason for walking by them. But I also
makes
don't want to
sense.
get too close because they might.
I was thinking about like walking up to the entrance and asking them a question, but that I don't know if I can pull that off.
You see, when you look over at these people, you see all of them are in full like uniform, like very clearly at attention. The guard drakes are sitting but looking around at attention. Like
Has any
Go ahead.
Has anyone gone up to them to ask them random questions?
I
that
don't.
we've noticed.
I don't think anybody specifically talks to them. I think very specific people might run up and like kind of wait at the door until they either the guards poke their head in or until they are let in.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think you're right, Citra. I think our best bet would be to walk past, and then I'll have my spider jump off my, not jump off, but crawl off my boot as we go past. And...
Okay, I gave you a spider sheet, by the way,
Ooh,
because that's actually just a sheet I had from the monster
Nice.
manual. So if I ask you for a
Ew.
stealth check or something, you can actually roll it.
why is the picture on it so disgusting?
I don't know.
Because the
That's
ant's
the
supposed to be
spider.
cute.
Here you guys go. That's what he
Ew.
sees.
Oh no!
Ooh, that's terrifying.
It's like a crab spiral.
Ugh.
I mean,
Fun fact, they're not a spider or a scorpion.
What, the camel spider?
Yeah, they're a different type of, or they're a different order of arachnids.
Jeez.
I have a spider drake? Oh dear god, that's horrifying. Anyways.
Oh my gosh. I think I fought a spider drake once, or a spider dragon once. It
Oh,
a
I was
full-on
about to say, the
dragon.
spider drake is definitely probably something you ever fought. It's from Creature Codex.
Oh, yeah, it was a spider dragon. It spewed out spiders as its breath.
It's CR 9,
Gross.
and it's large. Anyway, closing spiders for now. Are you guys
Over.
walking together, or are you walking by yourself?
I didn't mean to go up. Down on my keyboard made me go up. Tither, do you want to walk past them so it doesn't look strange?
No, I think we can walk by them without much of a problem.
Alright, cool. We're just gonna...
So, as you
Need to
walk
pass.
by, I'd like a stealth from the spider at advantage.
Alright.
Because nobody's looking for it.
Can I have cast guidance on my spider boy before we walked over?
Yeah. I could allow that, just because you're planning on it sneaking in.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
He's my sweet baby boy. I'm gonna cast guidance on him. Advantage. Shift?
Shift. And then you could just roll a d4 and we'll add it together.
I don't think it... rolled.
It should have it on the sheet. It should actually have a stealth.
Well, I rolled a 19 plus 4 plus
yeah, I'll give
D4.
you the 23 on that.
Is it R/R?
Yeah, /R.
23.
25 total.
25 total.
Yeah, so as you're walking by, your spider just crawls off and heads towards the entrance of the camp. As you guys just walk down past them, do you look at them at all, or do you just like, oh, that's there, I'm not paying attention?
Nope. Heads down, just going
Yeah.
about our business, looking for a potty.
Okay.
We're desperately looking for a porta potty.
What I think, by the way, you'll be over here, because what I think is you do notice something over here. I want to double check that you noticed it.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we're
you
not looking at
see-
them, but we're looking at other things.
You see, tied up to a post here, a stake, a half elf.
Oh, shit.
He looks like he's been severely beaten. He looks dehydrated, and he looks malnourished.
Is he wearing monk clothes?
I don't know if he'd be, quote, wearing monk clothes. His clothes are in poor disarray, and getting the information from the pupil back in the city, it matches what you think he should look like.
Gotcha.
And at the moment, his head's down, like he looks exhausted.
Can I keep walking up to these tents and settle down to rest by one of the tents within 100 feet of him.
Sure.
And then I will cast message out of my ring. Not ring, earring. It's like a ring, but it's on the ear. And it doesn't look like a ring.
I have a question for you with that. How does that sit on your Dragonborn head?
It's... What?
Because Dragonborn don't have very visible ears.
They do have,
Like eel canals, I assume, but...
They do have, my guy has very, in the description I put in the document, he has, very, like, you know how, like, some, like, pictures of Dragonborn that have, like, very wild, long, crests and those fucking tentacle things, whatever those are?
Yeah.
He has that. Like, so
Okay.
he's got the earring pierced through one of his, sideburn-esque, ridge tentacle crest thing.
Okay. I just wanted to know what it was, that's all. But before you message, I would let you guys sit down and stuff. I want to see what the other two are doing, just so nobody's left out. Avner.
They're freeing the prisoners.
Yeah.
There's 5 smoke grenades when you hit them.
So I was moving back to where I was supposed to be.
I want you to know, Michael, he plans on smoke grenades. He's using that smarter in this campaign. But anyways,
oh my god!
Not spoiling future plans. What are you doing, Abner?
So yeah, I'll finish up my conversation with the guy.
I think you have a new kind of not perfect sword, but good enough.
I'll take it, look at it, and say, well, thank you. What's it gonna cost me?
It's all... I have to make sure you guys all have at least standard weapons, but I can't keep doing it for free. Let me see real quick. 'Cause I want to see how much it would cost. Luckily, I have a nice search thing. What kind of sword would you look after?
It could be a hatchet for all I care. It was more just a talking piece.
So let's go short.
It could be a short. Yeah, it could be a short.
So he looks at you and is like, it would be 5 gold, half the price that you get in those cities.
Oh, I'll take it out and hand it to him and say, well, thank you. And it was a pleasure to speak with like-minded people around here.
And I think you see him like sit there looking at it for a second, and then he like gives you like 2 of them back and says, "For the nice conversation too."
Oh, I appreciate it. Hopefully, we got future business and continuing on from here. And I'll bid him a good day, and I'll kind of just start heading back this way. I'll look back at Alistair and kind of give him like the head nod, like, hey, let's keep going.
Alistair, that's a good segue to you.
Great segue. I think by now he's getting a little bored, and he just like sits down somewhere and just tries to listen to what everyone's saying until he sees Afner tell for him to get moving a bit.
I think what you hear is that a couple months ago, the half-dragon, the half-black dragon, Resmir, came into this camp to help set it up. And since then, Mondath handles everyday operations. So, I'm kind of pasting that in chat.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I was looking for the...
Yeah.
Where's the notes thing? I'm sure we had some
journal.
Notes thing.
So, if I go journal.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Got it.
Not a problem.
And when I see Abner's little signal, just get up and walk like a bit fast past him, like 10 feet past him, close to where the guards and the prisoners are, and I'll just like sit down around here. Just sit down on the ground, grab my water can, drink some water, and just look around to see if anything happens.
Other than you sitting next to the prisoners' tents, I think what happens is, one of the guards of the prisoners looks at you like, another person with not enough to do, huh? Here, and he hands you, a handful of water skins, so you can go fill those for us.
Oh, yeah, sure. I can do that. Where do I fill them again?
My, he's like, there's a well on the other side of the camp. You can go fill them over there. Kind of gestures towards, like, the slightly wooded area there.
Yeah, sure, I can do that. I'll just grab the water skins, and I'll walk like past the first tent I see. I'll just chuck it to the ground and just move around and sit like right here between the tents.
Okay. Now, Abner. I just asked you. Let's go back to Sithra and Renador. Sithra, what are you doing?
Sithra has gained a terrible idea.
Oh God, what?
She's gonna stand up and nod at these two to like come with her, and I'm going to approach this man.
We're gonna jump backwards like 5 minutes then, and let Renador have his message.
Okay.
And then you can nod at them. That way I don't rip Renador out of his message idea. Renador.
Who are you nodding at?
You and Abner.
Oh, jeez.
But,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have to message my boy, my monk boy, and then I have to look through the eyes and senses of my corny boy.
So I think that looking through the senses would happen first, since there's spiders in there.
That makes sense.
So when you... First off, what does it look like when you switch over to your familiar's senses?
I'm leaning up against the tent if it's firm enough. If it's not, I'll just, cross-legged slouch into my lap and look like I'm just closing my eyes and resting. And I'm going to close my eyes, and if they were open, they would, fill them over with a dull golden lens, and that's it. Just a dull golden lens over my eyes, so I close my eyes so they don't see it.
So what you see in your spider's vision is you see that same human woman that you saw. She seems to be issuing commands, and talking to the Scienthrath, the one who gave you that scar, and it's like, and that raid on Green Nest was a successful raid. Suppose our men deserve at least a night of revelry, but we do need to be careful. I don't know if anybody's going to be following us. I don't expect it, but you never know. This is the biggest raid we've had yet. And the Science Wrath, he's like, oh, I wouldn't worry about that. I kind of humiliated one of their champions while I was there. It's gonna be a long time before they're willing to stick their head outside those keep walls, let alone follow us. Do we have enough treasure yet? And the human woman's like, no, we do need a little bit more, though this area might not be ideal for much longer. running out of cities to raid and such. And the treasury for Tiamat needs more in it. And I think the rest of what you hear is like statistics and numbers, like how many they lost, how many they gained, like prisoners, that kind of thing.
And I try to memorize it.
So the general numbers that you got are around 100 kobolds, around 60 humans, and around 30 dragon men. But you do hear them use a different word for them than dragon men. You hear draconians.
Did 100 kobolds, 60 humans, 20 dragon boys.
60.
Unless I just completely
I
misremembered
posted
what
it
you
in
just
chat.
said. Gotcha. Thank you.
Just because
There we go.
words can be misheard, text is a lot harder to missee.
That's for sure. I'll immediately forget something someone just said.
Yeah, no, it's fine. But that's, you don't really get much more information. I think there's a drink or two handed about there, so it probably devolves to just shooting the shit, like equal to shooting the shit. Like business has been concluded, kind of thing.
So then, other than that, I'll just try to get names of the leaders in there and just try to memorize.
So the names of the leaders you know up there is let me so the human woman talking is Furlum Mondath.
You said human woman?
That's the human woman. You obviously know your friend, Landadrosa, the dragon man.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to double check this one here. You see another human in there who you see another human. This one's male. He wears a wool cap over his. So let me see. He wears a wool cap from ear and with ear and neck flaps that cover his head. There doesn't seem to be hair under there. And could you give me a perception check using yours, since you're looking through Spider's eyes?
My perceptions are through his perception. 25.
Either, yeah. You notice, like, underneath the edges of the cap, you see tattoos peeking out. It's So what you can get from that is he is a Thayan of some kind, and from the robes he seems to be like a red wizard, a neutral wizard, if you will. And when they talk to him, mention him, they call him Asbara Joes. So, god dang it, I don't want to be him. I want to be. I could have handed that to you. I appreciate you. And he doesn't really contribute much. other than just being in the tent and talking on occasion, but not enough to actually add to the conversation, so to say. And that's basically what you get there. You also get that they expect in the next month or two a half black dragon, Resmir, to come back and inspect the camp again. Seeing how she she helped set up the camp. But I think that's the most you get from this conversation. I don't think they give anything more that piques your interest.
Yeah. They're winding down. They're not really talking
exactly.
battle strategy.
Exactly.
All right. Now I just have my whisper thing with, but I don't
Your message.
message to the monk guy. Did we get a name?
You did get a name, Leo Sen. Let me again copy paste because it's easier for you guys to have written names to see. Leo Sen Elentha. Okay, so you point your finger at a creature to hear the message. Okay. So you point him and say a message. What do you say?
I'll say, well, first of all, I'd like to surreptitiously point. I don't want to be like grandiose pointing.
Yeah, just kind of like nonchalantly pointing.
I'll say, hold on. Leosin Erlenthar, your apprentice is worried about you. We're here to help. You can reply to this message.
I think he kind of looks up and looks around, and in a whisper replies that he planned to be captured and his plan is working brilliantly. Unfortunately, the captivity has been a bit more brutal than he expected. And
All right.
you see what he means, because he does look like, I think he's like tied to a stake on his knees, and they've even beaten the bottom of his feet. You know, that prevent people from running away strategy? Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But you haven't heard that before, Michael?
That sounds terrifying.
It's awful, but that's something people do.
I'll do another message. I have 5 total uses, so 4 left. With the added violence and danger, do you want us to attempt a rescue?
I think he replies, I think I can learn more in the camp, but if you feel like it's for the best, I will not be able to resist you either way. We can leave if you wish.
I will turn to Sithra, relay that conversation, and be like, "What do you think we should do? Oh, you're gone. Hey, come back."
Like, I mean, I don't think they're doing so well, but
Yeah,
they
I
may
think
be more successful at getting information than we should, or than we will.
Yeah, but I don't know how. He said he's getting a lot of information, but if they brutalize him and kill him or sacrifice him, feed him to the dragons, like we heard conversation, we he would lose. We would lose all of that information he's gathered. This
Yeah,
might be the only chance for him to escape. Because he's
that's.
not going to escape on his own. His feet
I
are
might.
ruined.
I might be able to convince the guard that we were ordered to feed him to my Drake. I mean, we could even bring the guard with us out of the camp and, like, to assure him, like, yeah, we were told a guard would be with us.
That's a good point. We do have a Drake handy that we could claim to be feeding. That's good.
And and if he questions it, we just need to name somebody who would have given us an order to do such.
I have names of the leaders.
Whoa, that will work.
I'll just say Furlan, or someone they'd be scared of. Landa would be probably scarier. Say Landa took a liking to my Drake and wanted this plump halfling fed to him immediately. So I'm taking this guy.
This
Yeah,
thick halfling.
that he's no longer used to us and wants this plump halfling fed to my Drake so it can grow.
I like it. I like that idea. I think we should finish our business here, though, before trying to
Oh yeah,
free any
before
prisoners.
we try to draw
There's
any
an-
more attention to ourselves than we have
There's
to.
an ominous cave over in the distance.
You said an ominous cave?
Ominous cave entrance?
There is.
I'd like to see what's inside there. It seems ominous.
Are you just gonna walk up to it, or are you gonna ask about?
I was just gonna send my corny spider boy.
Okay.
I named my familiar Corny. That's Quorny.
Yeah, no.
I'll have him stealth out of the tent over to the cliff wall and then circle around. So like this way first. So he's not just walking across the open
Yeah.
expanse.
I'm gonna open this map up and give you a token for sight in here, and then let you.
I love familiars.
I think what I'll do is, instead of like giving you a sight inside, when you get your spider inside, you see guards, much the same as the guards that were guarding prisoners, and they're sitting there talking, and they're like, why do they even need us at the front? It's not like the hatchlings can't take care of themselves. And the other one's like, no, we're to prevent anybody from coming in here. You know, and kobolds worship dragons. They'll be in here just groveling in front of the hatchlings from the get-go, and some of the mercenaries, we can't even trust them fully. He's like, yeah, you're right. Besides, it beats doing manual labor out there. We get to sit in a nice cool cave. And they just kind of like laugh about that. Avner, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna come sit down and kind of sit close, not sit right next to, and try to get an understanding as to what we've accomplished so far. And see what information between us that we have compiled.
I think it's at this point is that one of the guard people like looks at the others like, hey, did you see that one member? I handed him couple water skins to go get filled, and he's been taking a while. I'm gonna go looking for him. So he's shirking responsibility, and he just goes off north towards where he told you to fill the water skins.
Oh shit! Someone was given a mission.
Yeah, no,
A side
Alistair
quest.
was given water skins because he was sitting down and told to go fill them. And then Alistair threw them all behind the tent and walked away.
That's hilarious.
Which actually was a good idea. I can see now.
Well, while these guys are catching up, Alistair, what are you doing?
Oh, I see the guy walking away where I should have been, and I just like hide between the tents and just start laughing to myself. And then I'm not sure. Alistair right now, since he's bored, he's just like trying to think of a prank to pull on someone, and he's just like sitting down and looking at everyone going and walking, going about their day, and just thinking, what can I do right now? But he's not gonna do anything right now. He's just looking
he's
and
just planning.
almost
I'll put that.
staring at everyone and trying to plan something.
And back down to you three then, since Alice is not causing Super a lot of trouble. What are you guys talking about?
Oh. Have you guys been able to find anything else?
I have approximate numbers. I have leaders, names, and appearances. I have a mystery leader who's supposed to be arriving next week. I think it was
Like a month or two.
a month or two.
I've gathered some goals.
Well, haven't you guys been a busy pair?
I've begun infiltrating the cave over there. It from conversation of the guards outside, it appears to contain hatchlings. I'm not
And-
sure what they're hatchlings of, but the guards seemed confident they could take care of themselves. So, hatchlings that can take care of themselves. Kind of scary.
And we found our plump halfling. I'm gonna nod my head towards.
He's thick, boys.
Is he thick? Like super thick?
Well,
and
no.
juicy?
Honestly, he's not plump or thick, but you guys keep saying plump, which makes me think of thick.
What? Never mind. I'm not.
He
I'm not gonna
looks
keep asking.
malnourished. Like he's
But,
a
I
half
mean-
elf that's malnourished. He
But,
has to
like-
be like 120 pounds soaking wet.
But like, is he thick with 2 C's or 3 C's?
I think he's thick with a half C.
Damn. Oh well. Yeah, we found that guy. I had a conversation with him with my magic earring. He doesn't want to be rescued, but he said he won't fight us if we try to rescue him. He claims that his mission of gathering intelligence by being captured was going really well, but he was undergoing a lot more violence and damage than he was expecting. I don't think it's worth risking his life any further, because if he dies, we lose all that info.
That's true. I was talking with some of the arms people, and he said that the prisoners usually are either converted to the cult or fed to the dragons.
Oof.
Especially if they run out of use of being used for manual labor.
I wonder if he's
That's
being
actually
planned
great
to
news.
convert.
That could be, if he wants to stay in, that could be his only way to stay in.
He might be planning on
sure what-
pretending to convert.
Yeah, not sure what, if they've deemed him too far past to be able to convert or not. Don't know what that actually entails with these people here.
Hmm.
That and the kobolds are in very chipper mood. We had a nice stroll through the camp. But if you do want to end up saving him, you'll probably need a distraction then, right?
I'm explain to you the plan that we've come up with about feeding him to Wizak. And how we're going to. I mean, we can even convince the guard to come with us. Because we have names of leaders that we can claim gave us this order.
We would
Because
need
they
a
took a liking to him.
Kelly,
persuasive person.
I'm looking at your sheet for a different reason. Are you meant to have expertise in perception?
Who
Or
knows?
was that an accidental double
Who?
click? You, Kelly.
Yes.
Okay. I just
If
wanted...
you noticed, I only have, 4 skills at the moment.
Yeah.
It's just 2 of them are doubled up.
What's giving you expertise? Oh, anyways, I'll ask that later. It doesn't matter. That's not the skill I was looking at. I was looking at something else. So,
There are 3 additional guards we would have to tend to that are watching the prisoners, plus the ones that are over there by him. Who would you try to convince? I mean, I could potentially help with that, but
I feel like the one with the 2, but I feel like the only way he's gonna come with us is if we convince him that both of them are gonna get fed to.
there's more in the area that I just don't have them. There's like 2
Right.
more in the area that I don't have on the map.
Or we could just shrug and go, bureaucrats. Like, never expect anybody, or always expect you to do something, but never expect anybody to do what you're supposed to be doing.
Mike, how tall is this cliff here?
So the cliffs, slopes. Okay, so the sides of the plateau rise sharply. Handholds. It never tells me, but looking at it and from my general idea, I'd say probably on average 50 feet. You do notice that there are like rocks all across, like crevices and stuff. You could probably get handholds.
Do I see one that might be more the 30-foot tall range?
Maybe. Why are you asking?
Renadol, do you think those dragons over there have that ability to be able to see invisibility?
I don't know. Mike, do I know that? Do I know anything about these
roll
things?
me a nature check.
Alright. Got it. 5.
I'm gonna go ahead and make that. I didn't say it aloud, but I was thinking it as you were clicking it at advantage because they're dragon related.
17.
These are drakes. They're not true dragons, so chances are they don't. You're not 100% certain, but chances are they shouldn't.
I don't know for sure, but I don't think so. These are not full dragons. They're pups. They're drakes.
If we can't convince the guard potentially, or as another option, I could potentially make him invisible and then try to hightail out of here as fast as possible. If I can possibly get to a range where I can misty step up to the top of the cliff. But I don't know if the drakes. I think the gambit that the drakes have other senses that they can still track them.
Oh, are you thinking for like freeing all prisoners?
Well, more as a like making him invisible, and then when the guards come, is they're gonna probably see that he's invisible. I'll try to just get the f out of there, and if I can make it to a point where I could get up to the top of the cliff and just take off, it would probably allow me to possibly, hopefully, get away. Big chance and a hope.
Well, that's an idea. If we get him down with the excuse of feeding him to Wizak, and then we go around a corner and we make like eating noises. Wizak makes eating noises, and then you turn him invisible, and he sneaks out. Well, no, his feet are crushed. He can't walk out on his own. But you turn him invisible, and maybe he like clings to someone's back or something, and then we walk out with him. So they think he's healed.
You said that there was hatchlings, right?
Yeah, I need to hopefully get my spider into the cave more, but I wanted to
Do you
make
think?
sure we were
Do you
good
think
up.
that they're actual true hatchlings of true dragons?
I don't know. Hatchlings of anything that are able to take care of themselves. Probably a dragon, honestly.
You think we could get the kobolds to rush in there as a distraction?
Why? What? How?
Well, coming through the camp, we heard that kobolds worship true dragons, and that's the reason why they're here.
So why? Yeah, they probably know the hatchlings are here. Why they're here? What
If
do
we could
we?
persuade, we could persuade them to. If they don't know that, if we could persuade them to go see the hatchlings, maybe they'll cause a commotion.
Oh, like, huh?
If they worship them, it's weird that there's none over on this side of camp. If they are true dragons.
Seems to me like the kobolds are treated like second-class citizens. I don't know. It might be worth a shot, but I don't know if it'll. I don't know really what it'll. That could be a good distraction, I guess, but I don't know. They're probably more afraid of this side of the camp people over here than they are interested in seeing a hatchling. But it could be worth a shot.
I mean, I still think if we can get the Sithros plan to work, that might be the easiest.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of who could we talk, what guard could we talk to convince to get him down and bring him to be sacrificed.
We'd probably just go talk to this guy over here. Be like, hey, we're taking this one over on the post.
Are you the guard that's supposed to be with us?
Lang Dedrosa ordered it so. Took a liking to Wizak here. Wants
As a
him fed.
remembering for you, Sethra, because you mentioned it earlier in the session, you do have disguise self, which it lets you imitate people if you want.
Yeah, I thought about imitating one of the guards. Actually, you know what? I could do that and just...
I wasn't trying to dictate, I was just reminding you of something you had.
I could do that and speak to him in Draconic, which I'm assuming he speaks. Not solely, obviously, but...
So, by the way, Renador, something you've noticed that I didn't forget, but I kind of held off telling you, is of the Dragonmen, the Draconians. It seems like in camp, they are of every color of metallic dragon. Like, tarnished and such, but still the scales are, like, of every metallic dragon scales. I don't know if you put anything special on it. It seems like their body shapes tend to stick with whatever scales they have. So like the ones you guys have fought all vaguely look similar to each other that have the same scales, and so on and so forth. just more detail as I'm remembering to give you. That's all.
There's some shenanigans going on.
But yeah, you can use disguise self to look like people, and maybe that might help you with your plan.
That is a good idea.
Yeah, that would leave our best chance of leaving him here with the one of them and us taking the other one.
Oh, the prisoners?
Yeah.
There's a few prisoners over here.
There's like a total of 8.
But yeah, I just meant taking one and leaving the others.
Oh, so like taking the monk.
Yeah, and then
Gotcha.
I mean, I could even pretend to choose him out. So I'm gonna go ahead and disguise self as the man who walked away looking for Alistair.
Okay. So, what's funny is, Alistair, you were there hiding in the tents, looking that way to see that guy move that direction. When you finally look back to where your companions are, you see the same man standing among them over here in the tents.
But
Like
Did you
right
see
when
that?
he left your vision over here, you see him appear over here.
Hey, Citra, you might wanna, like, approach from the same direction the guy left.
Can I see Abner from where I
There's a
am?
path
Yeah.
up there that comes around and back down.
That's true.
You see
That's-
Abner.
And I can claim to be somebody else. We just look surprisingly similar. Go to hell.
I'll look at Alistair and I'll just kind of give him the calm sense of just like, it's cool, it's cool. Just kind of like
Yeah.
shaking my hand like on my right side, kind of the ground, like waving off, like, don't worry.
I would just mouth as a question. Bob Gainosh?
I shake my head no.
Okay. I'll stay there.
So you walk up to this gentleman who's probably like having them like move stones for no reason. You know, like the unimportant, like stupid labor. Like the stones need over here, no over here, that kind of thing.
I want to boot our chubby man in the ribs a little bit and say, I like that one. And Draconic.
You do what? You poke who in the ribs?
The,
Because the
Like, I
monk's
walk
over
up- Yeah, I walk up to the monk that is
here.
our monk.
He's over
And I
here
like-
to the right.
I can't see where you're... Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's over here. Like
Oh, is there-
he's strapped over here to a stake.
Is there even a guard with him?
He's kind of just. So when you walk near him, you see him like basically strapped to on his knees to a stake. Like I said, his bottom of his feet's been beaten. He looks beaten.
Yeah, if there's
I'm
no
try-
guard around, I'm just gonna, like, pick him up. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna understrain him. I'm just gonna scoop him up
Okay.
and carry him not comfortably.
Yeah,
Like jagging
Potato
along
sack?
around.
Yeah, carrying him is more of a labor to me than it is a courtesy for him.
yeah, okay. And I think as you do so, you start like, what are you doing with him? Are you walking this way or?
I'm just gonna start heading towards the exit of the camp.
And I think when
I'm
they
gonna walk ahead.
I think when they
After
see him,
grabbing-
this guy walks up to you, like, and Carmen just looks at you and says, "What are you doing with that prisoner? I thought we were to
I'm-
leave him out in the sun till he gave up his secrets."
Lang decides he's had no more secrets. decides that she's liked Wizak, and he gets to be his next lunch.
He squints his eye. Go ahead and roll me at advantage a persuasion check.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just gonna use my birthday success. I figured I was
Okay.
gonna use it anyways, but I thought I would try with my -1 perception or persuasion.
That's perfectly good. I'm more than happy with that.
That's why I was so confident in this plan.
Hey, remember, as a heads up to anybody else that gets birthday stuff, which I believe, Michael, you still have one.
Yeah.
If the plan is impossible, it's still impossible.
Gotcha.
I won't use your birthday success if it's impossible. I would just tell you, you still fail.
Like if you're trying to flap your arms to fly away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I just, like, this is possible, so I'm using it. I just wanted to put that out in the air that if it's not possible, it can't be used.
I like it.
So, I think what happens is, he looks at you and like, better be careful. Vizak, was it? Like, he might get indigestion. This one's been ornery. And he kind of just, with the bottom of his spear, just jabs him in the ribs.
Ooh.
He like,
Zithra's gonna give a bit of a chuckle and just keep like, she's gonna like hike him, like if he's up on his shoulder, she's gonna hike him so he like guts on his shoulder a little bit and just continue to walk.
okay.
Michael, me going ahead, knowing that this guy went this way, I'm going to try to find him to run interference.
Okay. So yeah, he's like looking around a well, and when you get up closer, he's like, where is that? Dude, when I find him, he's gonna be cobalt food.
Are you looking for that guy that was kind of like tossing his hammer around, being all nonchalant and
Yeah.
not really there? I
Yeah.
heard that he went. He said he was gonna go take a nap back here. And I'll point down this direction. You should probably go check, see if he's trying to hide from your work and see if he's trying to sleep back there.
Yeah, give me a persuasion.
What the?
Remember,
Five.
people, you do have once per session inspirations to use
Yeah, sure.
to re-roll stuff and such.
What do you?
You can, when you hover over it, you can either make it advantage or just click the re-roll button. I'd say repeat the roll is probably a better one. 11. It wasn't a super high DC because he's more mad at the moment. He's like, he better be up here. When I find him, like I said, cobalt food, and he walks off in that direction looking. As you're walking towards the front, like past kobolds and stuff, that's how that's going. Run a
As soon as
dog.
he walks away,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go down to get Alistair and tell him to get out of here.
Venadol, Alistair, what are you guys doing?
I was just I noticed them walking away. I didn't want to be alone.
Oh.
So I
Hey,
went
Renalo.
up and sat down next to Alistair. Hey, can you keep an eye out? And I'm gonna have my eyes closed for a while, and I won't be able to hear or feel. I think I'll be able to feel, but I won't be able to hear or see anything. So if it goes down or we start, people start asking us questions or talking to us, just give me a tap on the shoulder and I'll wake up. And then I'll close my eyes and look through the senses of my spider.
As you go to do that, Avner walks up.
Alistair, you saw that guy that was taking the prisoner?
Yeah, I was a bit confused about that too.
That's Sithra, the impersonator of the guard that's looking for you. Head
Oh,
and follow Sithra, because if that guard finds you, he's extremely pissed. So I would probably head back towards the entrance and head out with Sithra, who's disguised as that guard. He was heading
how
towards the front
heavy
gate.
is Renadol?
How big is Venador?
I can-
Dragonborn typically are bigger than humans, but he's kind of average Dragonborn, thinly built, so probably like 200 pounds.
It's
Just need
fine.
to- I'm just going to take Ronaldo in my arms, like we were just getting married, and just get him out of the camp walking.
So,
I'm trying to hide my face.
Hold on, no.
You can still talk and whatnot, by the way, Venador. You feel
I-
him lift you up.
Alistair, it's fine. We can leave Renador here. I'll stay with him. Just head out as fast. Just head out as fast as you can, nonchalantly, not draw attention upon you. Before the
Okay,
guard
for
gets
sure.
back.
I open
I'll
my
get
eyes and I'm like, what's
Ronaldo.
going on? Why are you picking me up?
Just get him back to the ground.
It's fine. I'll stay with you. You do whatever you're doing.
Oh,
But,
I'm scouting. Just keep an eye out and tap me on the shoulder if I need to wake up.
Okay.
Governor, I have just one question for you.
Yeah.
What's Shalantli?
We'll talk about that after you get out of the camp.
Okay, I'll be going. And I'll just try to get away as nonchalantly as possible.
Is the opposite of nonchalant just chalant?
I think so.
What does chalant mean?
But I'm googling this now. Chalant. Oh wait. Yeah. What does chalant mean? Your dictionary. Let's go with this. Notion opposite to nonchalant, as though that has been formed in English with the non-free. What? So
I love the
basically, it
definition
doesn't
it's
exist.
Not nonchalant.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. Nonchalant is the actual word.
And chalant is just literally the opposite of nonchalant. So
Yeah.
nonchalant is the actual correct word.
Yeah.
It seems like nonchalant was borrowed from French,
Yeah.
so it's not really an English word, so it doesn't make sense. Not that anything's really an English word. Nothing
Yeah,
makes sense.
but no,
Nonchalant
that-
is a feeling or appealing casually calm or relaxed.
Yeah.
Not displaying anxiety, interest, or
So if you walk around
enthusiasm.
chalantly, it's like you're very nervous, very uptight, like you're like
you're very
worried.
careful, attentive, or concerned.
Yeah.
The more you know.
For you, you peek back into your spider's eyes. She was still in the cave mouth. And you go across a couple, like, the cave entrance past the two guards you were talking about, and you enter a side passage that you see. And I think what you see is on like a pedestal. You see a couple what you now know as cultists around this like pedestal, like this that seem like almost like a nest. It's holding a golden egg, and you see from time to time the egg shakes and such. And I think what happens, what you see, is a crack appear on the egg, and then another one, and as pieces fall down, what you would assume would be a wormling, you see, and I'm trying to remember how many. Let's see if this tells me real quick. You see like, I'll go with two. You see two, and they look, they're small. Because a dragon egg is a medium thing by itself. They're small creatures at the moment. They almost look bipedal. They have like a tarnished gold scale. No rings to speak of. But otherwise, almost like a humanoid body with more humanoid anatomy. once they like break free of the nest, the cultists like, not swarm, but basically surround them, like wipe them down and kind of care for their needs and move them away as some other ones get rid of the scraps of egg. And I think
Oh
that's
my gosh.
why we jumped to the other two. So, Alice, so you're just traveling after Sithra? Is that what's happening, Alistair?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you're just following after Sithra. Sithra, you're heading out probably at a rendezvous point with Limnos.
Yes.
Just outside the city or camp. I think after Alistair, I think after a time, after you guys left, this guard, upon not finding Alistair up there, is just down searching the camp. You two are effectively outside camp, so I won't just jump to you, but is there anything you guys do upon leaving? Like right away, other than just go to Limnos, get the monk there.
Just turn to Sithra. Who's this guy?
Oh, this is our friend.
I think while your disguise self is still up, Limnos probably is on edge and like go like as soon as they see you, goes to attack you before you like no.
Break your head.
Yeah, that's what I
It's
would
me.
drop it as soon as we weren't like in direct eye line of
Okay. I just like the idea that you forgot
Any
about it for a second,
whistleblowers.
and then when he went to attack you, you dropped it like no, look. But so now that you guys are out, I'll jump back to you two, Renadar and Avner. You guys are leaning against tents. Renadar, you still in that room? There doesn't seem to be too much more to look at in that room. And I don't know if that revelation means anything to you.
Yeah.
I'm just taking a short rest.
As that's happening, Renadal just kind of hunches over behind the tent and just kind of starts dry heaving, like still looking through the spider's eyes, but Abner would kind of just see him dry heaving for a while.
Does your eyes look like a trance? Like, are your eyes closed when you're looking through your familiar?
He's got his eyes closed, yeah.
Okay.
He did describe though that if his eyes were open, they'd be like almost like a blind person's eyes, but with like a golden film.
Okay. So I can see that his body's doing this, but his mind's still not back in his body. Essentially.
It's technically in
Right.
his body. He can see you. He can't hear or see you, but he could feel you.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's why he could feel being picked up.
I'll
Brenda, you okay?
back the spider. I can't hear you.
I know, but he doesn't know that.
Oh, gotcha. I'll back Corny out of that tunnel. Is there anything else to explore in there?
I think there is more, but time-wise, I don't know if you have time to explore super a lot more. I will say, you do see maybe walking around more of the dragon men, the draconians,
Gotcha.
and there was one or two gold ones that look very similar to what came out of the egg.
Oh, gross.
And
Yeah, because the spider doesn't move very fast. So it probably
Yeah.
takes a while for it to travel around.
And it's only really an hour, so like an hour
Yeah.
going around the camp, that thing, like.
Yeah. Makes sense. So I don't want it to just poof in front of someone, so I'll have it hide under a rock. When it's coming to the hour time up. and then so it disappears
Okay.
inside of a crevice under a rock. Someone will be like, "Where did that spider go?" Well, gotta burn the cave down,
Exactly.
and then they'll burn the camp down, and mission accomplished.
So as it poops out, your vision returns, and you can hear Avner like, "Renador, are you okay?"
No. We have revelations here. A lot to discuss with the group and the
Alright.
leadership back at the camp. We should get going.
Are you good to travel though?
And Renadol visibly shakes himself and just, yes, let's get out of here. I don't know if there's any other information we can glean from here, and it's dangerous to
Alright.
be here.
You see this guard walking down, like, past you, so mad at this point he's not even noticing you, like, when I find him. And when
It
he
seemed
gets
like the others got out without any problems. I didn't hear any commotion from the side while you were doing what you were doing.
That's good. I was worried. I'm impressed with Citra's plan. I didn't think that was gonna go as smoothly as it did.
Well, good
Must
thing
have
we were
been
able
a
to talk
birthday.
Alistair to get out here, get out as fast as possible, so we didn't have any problems in that aspect. But yeah, Citra had a good plan. It did work out.
And fade to end of the cutscene.
Yeah, you guys walk out and meet up with the rest of the people. And I am going to end here. That way, like, Corey could be part of the recap of what happened in the camp and
Yeah.
whatnot and talk with you guys.
We've accomplished the mission.
I will also talk to him just, like, at the beginning of next session just to see what Elimnos did during that whole time. Just, like, along the cliff sides or whatnot.
Pooped in people's bed sheets.
He inverted it.
Poop.
Yeah, well, that was the camp. I want to ask you guys, do you guys think that would have gone smoother or more hectic if Elimnos was in there?
Elimnos seemed to really want to set fire to something. So,
I can't wait for that revelation to be said with him, by the way, Michael.
oh yeah, for sure.
Because
His character is not going to be okay with
what
more.
do you think of it? Like, as a player, Rise? I hope I
Oh,
did it
that's fucked up.
justice as a
That's
reveal
fucked
thing.
up. That's fucked up. Especially considering Renadol's situation.
Yeah. I was hoping that I gave it justice.
Oh yeah.
What?
I mean,
what?
I think Luminos might go blow up the whole camp after he finds out. So,
What do you guys think of how the session went? Like, what do you guys think of any revelations?
I thought it was good. It definitely wasn't the typical go in and kill everything and.
Yeah.
yeah.
I was gonna say I like the way you handled the camp exploration.
The book specifically says if you guys attacked, you guys could escape. But if you guys stayed to fight, you guys would be overwhelmed by the numbers.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I was talking to that guy about overwhelming numbers, yeah, I wasn't the power that could do that.
Yeah. So that specifically it depended on what you guys did, because you guys could have caused a commotion. That charisma check at the beginning, if you guys rolled below a 5, you guys would have been recognized.
Oh. Damn.
Like, and then depending on who you talked to, that DC went up.
That's why I wasn't talking to nobody.
Well, because I had a whole bunch of information you guys could get, but if you guys are too nosy, then I'd have to have you repeat to say. It was a whole thing that I think went fairly well.
Yeah.
I was a lot more roleplay heavy in this session. I hope everybody didn't feel left out or anything.
I had fun.
What are you
I like role
talking
plays.
about? This is the only session where I wasn't like almost on death's door. So.
It's
It's a plus. It's 2 thumbs up in my book.
So a rock falls on Avner, and he wonders how the hell he got here from Icewind Dale.
I was just about to say, kick that Birdman's ass.
What else?
Kelly's character in Icewind Dale is Avak. Is his name. So we keep making a joke. Like, I pick up a rock and throw him, and he's like, put me down. But yeah, I am going to end the session here. For people watching, I hope you guys have enjoyed. I need to get this, like, uploaded tonight so Corey can watch it if he wants. And, yeah, I will catch you guys on next time. I should be live tomorrow at some point, before Tim's D&D game, with more Digimon, because I was having a lot of fun with that. In the meantime, make sure to stay sweet.